Gary is showing right now our Connected Cubby demo unit that's sitting in Venture Lab. If you back up a little bit there, they can see the entire unit as a whole. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how this solution works. There are two ways that make it work. I'm just going to share my screen. Hold on.
Barry, could you take like 3-4 steps back, please? Maybe another 5-6, and then go forward again. Just so we can see from top to bottom the whole unit.
I should be sharing my screen if you can double check.
Yeah, we do see your screen as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay. So this is basically a 4-unit device. If you're looking at my screen right now, you'll see one unit has been assigned to a client named Venture Lab. The second unit has been assigned to Infield Solutions. And units 3 and 4 are currently available for anybody to use. The idea behind this solution is that right now this demo unit only has 4 cubbies, but the production units will have anywhere between 8 or 12 units, 12 cubbies. What it allows us to do is assign a cubby to an individual or a company, or it allows us to make it available for anybody to use so that the solution is easily modifiable and usable by any organization. So I'm going to give you the first example of what I wanted to do. I can manually open each of these cubbies with an admin access. So I have admin access. Certain people will have admin access if they want to have access to all the cubbies. So I'm just going to do a demonstration right now of opening one that has Infield Solutions to it. And if you see on Barry's video, you should be able to notice that the cubby is opening. Can you validate that it's visible? Excellent. Notice that there's a package inside it, and so we can remove or disable that package very easily, and allows us to easily use the cubby as we need to use it. So this has been specifically assigned to Infield Solutions. So I'm just going to close this up right now manually, and you'll see that the cubby is closing. The next thing I'm going to do what you're looking at right now is our open availability at Venture Lab to allow us to be able to send or receive packages. So let's say I am not a registered user, okay, and I want to send this package to a person named Vertace. So I enter the email address in the system, and I click proceed. What that does is not available. Okay. What it's supposed to do is open up the specific. That's not available either. Okay. What's supposed to happen is the available cubby is supposed to open and allow us to deposit our package. This worked. Just give me 30 seconds. I'm going to disconnect from the meeting and I'm going to reconnect. And then you guys can talk into the meeting. So just allow me a few minutes, please.
Sure. In the meanwhile, David, thanks for joining. We're just going through a live demo. We are recording this session, so we're just asking everybody to stay muted, as lovely as you all are. So if you look at Barry's name, you'll see the actual cubby, David, especially because you came later. So this is guys, this is the prototype unit. Yes, right there. That's a prototype unit. So the actual unit looks slightly different, but this is what we're using for test. It is a little slower as well than the actual units, but it certainly depicts, what the Connected Cubby is all about. Thank you, Barry, for that side profile. Very lovely. So that little black box in the front, guys, with the green light, that's actually the external camera that causes all the magic. So you scan the QR code that's provided by the platform here, and that's what controls the entire unit. Okay, each unit is set up with either cellular Wi-Fi or Ethernet capabilities, depending on connectivity. Cellular is great because it gives you independence from the building's IT. But the challenge with cellular is depending where the lockers are and depending where the building's located geographically, the cellular coverage might be spotty. So typically what we try to do is and to bring down cost is use the building's Ethernet first, Wi-Fi second, and cellular third. Of course, we could choose two of those three, have one primary, one secondary for connectivity purposes. This is one unit. You could have several units in a space, and basically the software will pick first available cubby of all the units available in that space that are daisy chained together. So there's actually 3 units in this particular space. This one is in isolation of the other 2, and the other 2 are joined together as effectively one. So you have that flexibility is the point. And yes, I'm rambling on just to delay until Prasad continues with his live demo here. All right, colors. Basically, every color you could think of is available. There's 3 different textures: smooth, a wood grain, a metal type of finish. Those are all available. Some have premium costs, of course. These could also be vinyl wrapped, so you could actually custom brand these with vinyl wrapping. It's really cool, actually. Our supplier for the main material, we're able to do laser etching as well within the material. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of aesthetic flexibility as well. So it's pretty exciting, actually. And this material is called Trespa. It's made in Netherlands, actually. And it's very interesting. It's a lab grade material. You could put really corrosive cleaning chemicals on it and it works. You could put graffiti and wipe off the graffiti quite easily with a normal detergent, regular detergent, quite nicely. So it has some great properties. Also, pathogens such as COVID or any other bacteria, E. coli, have a very hard time living on this material. So therefore, again, we minimize the transmission of disease by using this material, which is one of the main reasons we chose Trespa in the end. So Prasad, just let us know when you're ready, and I'll stop rambling. All right, my ramble is over.
Good job. So apologies, folks. There's 2 ways for us to be able to get a specific QR code. I can assign it as a particular user. If I've assigned it as a user, as I showed you before, it'll only open the Infill Solutions cubby. If I assigned it to a Venture Lab user, like this one, then it'll only open the Venture Lab cubby. But because I want to access one of the available cubbies, these 2, number 3 or 4, what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter an email address. Just refresh the page. I'm going to enter an email address. This is also coming to me. I have multiple email addresses. Okay. Now, right now, we've got email active. We can also have phone active. It's not activated yet. And what that means is that if I put in a cell phone number, we will send, I click on the word proceed, notice it's generated a generic QR code. So when I click on that generated QR code, it's a one-time QR code. What that means is that it can only be accessed once to open the cubby, and it can be accessed once only to reopen it to take the package out. So I'm just going to generate the QR code. There it is. So with that, I'm going to come to the cubby right now, and you can watch it on your video monitor. Here's my package that I'm going to deposit. The QR code is there on my screen. I'm showing it to you on my computer because I'm trying to do multiple things on my computer, but you can do this on a mobile device as well. I'm just going to come to the device. It's scanned. It's now waiting to validate that that QR code is the right QR code and it has been assigned properly as a open QR code. And it noticed that available cubby, which was, if you looked at my screen, I had 3 or 4. And now the first available cubby is opening up. I will deposit my package. And then in 30 seconds, the system will automatically close and it'll update the status. If you notice on my screen, you're seeing that it's opening and closing. There's a status on the screen itself that indicates what's the current status of that particular unit. And in about 30 seconds, it'll close, and you'll see that close. 30 seconds doesn't seem like a lot. It is actually quite a long time. What it also does, once the package is in place and the status has been updated to the screen, it sends an email. And I'll show you the email in a moment. I'm just waiting for the email. There it comes. So there's my email, if you've noticed. And I double click on that. And I click download. There's the QR code. Now, as the consumer who's received this email, I can then go take my computer or my mobile phone. I can go to the device again. I scan the QR code. It's an instant scan. It waits. It validates the fact that the QR code has been sent to, or it's a correct QR code. And now you can see the Cubbie is opening. I can go and I can retrieve my package, and the transaction is done. Now I can do this continually. This QR code that you're seeing on my screen is no longer active once I picked up the package and the Cubbie has been made empty. So what it allows us to do, yes?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. Before you close the door, I just wanted to show everybody the dots inside and the camera. Yes. Quickly, just go in there, Barry, if you could, with the camera. Or whoever has a camera. See the dots on the ground, guys? There's actually a camera at the top of each unit, Cubbie unit. Right there, you can see the light with the camera. It's an integrated unit. So the dots are actually just to give it reference in terms of where exactly in the Cubbie a parcel is there or that a parcel has been put in there. So that's what we call a presence camera. So that's in addition to the external camera that's used to read QR codes. The internal cameras are presence cameras to confirm a package has been received or withdrawn, taken. Sorry, Prasad, keep going.
No, that's pretty much it. You said it exactly right. Now, this feature, these Cubbies allow us, again, in this scenario, to assign a Cubbie to a client or an individual, or to allow it to stay open, and then whichever is the free Cubbie will be then opened upon the individual being assigned as the recipient. And so right now, if, like I showed you the email, only the recipient will be able to open that Cubbie with a one-time use QR code. And that's pretty much as simple as we can get it. Let me know if you have any questions as we talk.
So guys, if anybody has any questions, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask away. Prasad, as people are formulating their questions, what do you like about Connected Cubbie yourself? Put you on the spot.
Oh, for me, it's relatively easy. I think it's the ability to be able to, especially in commercial settings, to be able to share products amongst individuals, say within our own company. If we've got 8 people within our company, we've got a dedicated Cubbie. The individual is assigned automatically and or pre-assigned into the system. And then I can leave packages for Barry or I can leave packages for Rakesh. And whenever they're ready to pick it up, they can simply go there, get their one-time use QR code, open up Cubbie number 2, which has been assigned to Intel Solutions, and pick up whatever package you want. Vice versa, if I wanted to leave a package for another member of this very large community that we live in, I can easily do that, assign the email address, and they will receive that email with a one-time use QR code, allowing them to pick up whatever package I want to leave with them. I think there's an enormous number of applications that we can do with it. A new set of Cubbies that we've created are ESD ready, so electrostatic discharge ready. What that means is that you're dealing with a hardware lab or you're dealing with a electronics location and you want to be able to store safely components of electronics or components of chips or whatever that may be. The whole entire solution is ESD ready and it's workable right now. The next iteration of this, this is the demo unit, which has 4 units. The next iteration of this has 8 units, and we're working on a 12-unit version as well.
Great. Prasad, if you could put yourself on mute. Barry, next question's for you. Where are you seeing traction, interest within the market? What type of industries? And as much detail, as you could give.
Well, the traction that we're seeing right now is in residential condos. We've quoted out quite a few buildings in the Toronto area for our Connected Cubbies, with a minimum of 3 to 4 cubbies per building, dependent on the amount of condos in the building and number of tenants. We're also seeing traction in commercial buildings. Example, City of Newmarket is looking for a couple of cubbies for their mail room. So the girl that looks after the mail doesn't have to go around the whole building 2 or 3 times a day to the different office locations and sub-office locations and pass out the mail. She'll be able to do it in the mail room itself, in the Connected Cubbies. They're secure, they're locked, they're contactless, touchless, and ruggedized, which will cut down on her time getting through the mail every day. And the individual departments, such as the mayor's office or accounting, finance, wherever, whoever, licensing, can come to the mail room, get a notification that the cubby is got mail, and they just scan the QR code, open up the box, and away they go. That's about the gist of it for me regarding residential buildings, commercial sites, and office buildings.
Perfect. And I was just going to add, Barry, for the town of Newmarket, they actually have requested that the mayor, Department of Accounting, each department have their own dedicated cubby. So
Correct.
Cubby 1 is always the mayor's, for example. So that is easily facilitated within the solution that we have. So it can be first come, first serve, or it can be dedicated cubbies to certain groups or individuals, whatever the client wants. The other area we're winning, thank you, Barry. The other area we're winning, in fact, we're these guys are standing right beside it, is the hardware lab. Adventure Lab is basically a prototype testing type of facility. And they're using the Connected Cubbies as a way for their clients to manage their high dollar value parts as a kind of a short midterm storage solution for them. We're also seeing applications within manufacturing facilities to manage, mid-assembly parts or high dollar parts in between shifts. So shift A has done their work. They can leave their current work in the cubbies, and then shift B will come retrieve it and continue whatever work or whatever they had to do with that item. So high-rise condos, commercial buildings, restaurants. We're actually about to install a few of these in restaurants for curbside pickup. Retail, same thing. Yes,
Here's
go ahead.
The cubbies in the lab.
Yes, these are the cubbies. So this is a more ruggedized version because we're in a manufacturing type facility. But these are 2 production units actually sitting within the hardware lab here at Venture Lab, where we're shooting currently. And it works effectively the same way that you have seen outside. We're not going to open any of these because of, I think they're starting to be used already. So, but it gives you an idea of a different version of the same thing, just a little more ruggedized, a little stronger type of unit. Thank you, Barry. So again, guys, floor is open. Any other questions? David Rosner.
I have a question, if it's okay with you guys. Marcus Tracy.
Of course, please.
Here. Have we looked at?
Maybe put the camera a little further away from you, as lovely as your forehead is. There it is. All right, go ahead.
Has anyone looked at any of the financial services groups? I know that they were talking about, and these are the instant pay cash loan stores, how they were taking in packages now and they were sending out monthly feed payments. But
Yes.
because we couldn't open the doors, there's been a couple of issues. I'm just
Okay.
wondering if we're strong enough here with this product to actually place that as a separate entry to those buildings where they can actually log or cordon off, say, the front door, and people could come in from either side. They could disperse funds and packages that way, as opposed to having to actually deal with a teller.
Yeah, I mean, yes. There is a measure of encryption that has been built into the platform. And because the QR codes are perishable, one-time use only, you can't, rummage through the trash and find a QR code that's been disposed and use that to open up the cubby. It won't work. So yes, Marcus, that was your question, actually, not David's, but great question. So yes, it can be used for anything of high value, or frankly for any item, but certainly high value and something that requires a measure of security. Absolutely.
Rakesh.
Yes, David.
First of all, thank you guys for putting this together. Being able
our pleasure.
to actually see it is yeah, picture's worth more than 1,000 words here, and a video is even worth more. And a demo on top of that.
There you go.
In terms of the retail application, and I'm thinking in terms of restaurants, QSRs, how would the integration work with the point of sale systems?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So one of our partners who isn't active in the business, he's a shareholder. He was building a platform for the QSR industry for many years. And the biggest challenge we have with the QSR industry is they all use different platforms for their point of sale, the POS. And the challenge is most of those POSs, for security purposes, are quite closed, meaning they don't allow for integration. Some of the newer ones are allowing for integration, and the ones that are open to integration, we can integrate with them. What we're doing right now, and again, we're just launching this for the QSR restaurant type of industry this month. So I'll probably have more information in the coming weeks and months on this, but really this is going to be a standalone service for now. Just like it is with Uber Eats or any other platform that they're engaged with. How it effectively work is that you get the kitchen gets a ticket to make a lovely sandwich, let's say. It's for David Rosner. David Rosner's cell phone is this. Okay, as soon as that food is ready, what they would effectively do is say, hey, I have a package for David Rosner. There's a little web portal that they would access on a smartphone or tablet or laptop, whatever, just like Prasad did today. And it would basically say, okay, what do you need? I need a cubby, and this is the cell phone number, and I need a cubby. Press submit, and what would happen is the cubby unit would open a door, they put the food there, and David Rosner would actually get a text saying your food is ready, and it's in cubby number 2. So it's a standalone solution right now. It's a very simple, and it really is as simple as I just depicted and as Prasad showed us earlier. But the integration is possible, and we have started those conversations now. We do have some familiarity with those POSs.
For example, I know Square lets you connect with their API somehow. Is that accurate?
Yes, Square is quite good with that, quite open with that. But like, I won't mention names, but some of them are not.
No, of course. But it's interesting about Square. I know from if you're the user, if you're the merchant, you can. They have a whole app store that you could add these apps, and I envision that you would just add the
ours there.
Cubby.
Yes. The reason we've slowed down our investigation of the QSR restaurant industry is that here in Canada, we've been in lockdown, especially for retail and restaurant. So until that opens up, there was no point.
That's
right?
a fair point.
Or very little point. In the States where you're in New York, things are thankfully much better currently. So yes, David, it is something we will do. We have some relationship with Square already, so.
Prakash, we lost you.
Oh, sorry, I put myself on mute. So, David, did you hear my comment about Canada and US lockdown?
Yes, I got that part. And right after, I think you said you mentioned that you do have some familiarity with Square and
Yes. We
this
have
in the
some
future.
relationship with Square and the like, and there's quite a few of them. So we are going to investigate with them, absolutely. Right now, for us, the low-hanging fruit has been high-rise condos and manufacturing. But I know retail is and the restaurant, quick service restaurant are a great market that we will entertain, absolutely.
Like
Okay.
and the way I see it, it's kind of interesting is that Starbucks, in my opinion, has the best online ordering platform.
Yes.
But the pickup is a little bit of a, you know,
it's a free-for-all.
yeah.
You know, and you know, Apple, you know, I'm an Apple user, which many of you know. But anyway, Apple has one of the best customer experiences for anything they do, whether it's online or physical retail, right? But if you order something online and do a physical pickup, it's a bit of chaos.
Exactly.
And all these guys, what they need, the coffee shops, the quick service restaurants, the retailers of the world, they just need a connected cubby to polish that off, so that David, when you order that beautiful coffee from Starbucks or that keyboard from Apple or something like that, or a lovely Samsung device, you get a notification that it is ready right now, and at your convenience, come get it, David, because you are the customer. Your time matters more than anything, is how it should be looked at.
For sure.
And I think the Connected Cubby finishes that workflow. They do everything great until that point. The pickup point is disastrous, right? So great point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Richard, what's your first take of this? I'm picking on you. No, sorry, Richard Disseletz.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the demo was good to see. It was definitely valuable in terms of implementation and how we can visualize along with customers. At least I can explain the flow of the system itself step by step. And in terms of its usability, it seems quite simple, quite straightforward. So I think most of my questions kind of revolve around that ability to communicate with other platforms, which we've all touched on, but definitely the potential is there, and I'm pretty excited to see what we can do with it.
Yeah, the challenge with platforms is there's so many. So what we're kind of waiting for is to see which is the most predominant platform in each of the arenas or spaces that we're looking at based on the clients that we could all touch, right? There are some property management software that we're looking at as well. Alex isn't here today, but he has a property management software as well. Alex is another reseller, just like you guys. So we're looking at integrating with that possibly. So yeah, there's many opportunities, but just know from our side, we've designed the software to make it super easy to play nice with others. We're just trying to figure out who wants to be our friend. Richard Zink, sorry to cut you off there, but what's your first take, and where do you see this working in the marketplace?
Yeah, I see it like, I think for mostly apartments, for receiving parcels, and it's a lot pretty very simple process too. Or it could be used in the factories as well for tool rooms, for handing out the tools to the employees, and for tools that come in, specialized tools, they could be used in there as well.
Yeah, you're right, and there has been several conversations within manufacturing for hey, even the workers on occasional order Uber Eats, let's say, to eat. We could use the Cubbies to manage that. Suppliers come in to drop off stuff. Maybe it's during hours, after hours, doesn't matter. The box is there 24/7. Maybe that could be used to receive items, parts, deliveries from suppliers and even customers, possibly samples. Shipping out, there's companies that send out samples or even finished product. Maybe this could be used to facilitate deliveries leaving the building. So there's many things, and then like you said, part transfer or high value parts management and storage. within a facility. So many things, it can be used for many applications, and that's one of the things that drew us at Infield to the Connected Cubby concept, was that the applications are enormous. COVID has been the catalyst to increase the need of such a product. And I think Prasad and his team have done a beautiful job in making this really dirt simple in how it works. And all of those things are very important. So guys, I appreciate your time. If there's no further questions, we'll end the session at this point. Of course, your contact person, whether it's Richard or Barry or myself, we're always available to you guys if you have any other further questions. But thank you, Prasad and Barry, for your time today and facilitating this. And you did a beautiful job. And everybody be safe, take care, and to everybody's good fortune.